Right, so you don't...
What would you like to do? How would you like to proceed?
Right, you don't want to tell me what is the social reason she came to hospital, yeah?
You brought her to the hospital, is that right?
No, I didn't. The police...
Okay, who brought her to
The police
brought her to the
the
hospital?
police decided on a section 133 or section 134 because they were extremely concerned about her mental health, that she seems to be delirious and psychotic. And the two ambulance paramedics also thought that she appears to be suffering from serious mental health. So they waited for the police to arrive so the police can refer the mental health referral to crisis mental health for her to be assessed to see how far is her psychosis and schizophrenia, which her GP has refused to give her medication for.
Is our medical team, and then they can go through this all with you. Would you like to have that? Would you like to have that conversation?
So,
actually, I'm gonna.
You're working at the moment, aren't you?
Our medical team.
You're working at the moment, aren't you? This is your job, isn't it? So if somebody had to pull you out of your job immediately, right now...
Hello, sir. This is Dr. King, medical consultant here. How are you?
Hello, Dr. King. We spoke once before.
That's right, yes. How are you?
Well, at the moment, I'm not doing very well because I'm expecting to jump when you click your fingers. Is this the way you do things there?
So,
You've got a job to do, and so does everybody else. How are we supposed to be doing this when you want to click your fingers and have me down there in an instant?
no, it's okay. You don't need to come. We just need to speak.
I don't need to come. So are you...
Speak.
All right, so...
Because we're speaking now. That's all that's necessary.
But you told me last week on record that it's no good on the telephone, that it's something that needs to be done with the family face to face.
Well,
That's been squashed by legal department and social services, is it?
no, I don't work for social services. I work with social services, but not for them.
Well, I'm hoping that you're not going to work with them on this occasion with my mother. Unless you're going to give me a legal reason.
So, my understanding is that your mother came in.
Why did she come in?
She wasn't particularly medically unwell. We didn't particularly do anything specific.
Because she wasn't meant to be coming to your hospital.
Medical treatment.
Because she didn't have a physical problem.
Okay, we treat who comes through the door. So she came to our front door. We took her in. So that's our job. So she came to us. I know she normally goes to Whitton. So she came to us. We took her in. There wasn't anything specific.
Well, hold on a minute. You're missing the part here. You're missing the referral by the police.
No.
Look, everything every day is being uploaded onto the media. The world is going to end up watching it. It's no point you trying to ignore it. It's going to fall into legal hands in the end. Why would you want to do that? No, but why would you want it to be that way? You're putting her life in danger with your decisions. You're putting...
Decision regarding what?
Well, I'm saying it again. You are putting...
Regarding what?
I'm going to say it.
Regarding what?
Don't interrogate me. I'm going to say my sentence the way I choose. You are putting my mother, your patient's life in danger in three different ways. The first one,
Please tell me how.
the first one is that...
I'm writing it down as well because I need to make sure that
Oh, it's okay. If I've got your email, I'll send you a link and you will be able to have a good record of what's being said here. Don't worry.
You said 3 ways. The first way.
There are three reasons. One is that 3 police constables and 2 paramedics last week were of the opinion that my mother needs a psychiatric assessment due to her behavior and her conduct. Conduct is things like hitting her grandson to the point of breaking his nose, then saying she can swear by she didn't do it. Things like running into the street and nearly getting run over by a car. Things like running into the street and saying all of the neighbors are scheming to kill her and trying to grab a telephone out of a passerby's hand. And the passerby ends up being a neighbor who's Dr. Thomas, who works at the St. Bartholomew's Hospital, who recommended an immediate crisis mental health assessment. Now, you're telling me that those things, doctors policemen, policewomen, paramedics, the family are all wrong, and Jennifer Gordon, the social worker, okay, is right. That's what you're trying to tell me without telling it to me. So what?
Let me tell you what I'm telling you. Let me tell you what I'm telling you. So yeah, she was assessed. You said that people wanted her.
She can't be assessed by a clinical nurse. She needs a consultant psychiatrist. She's got schizophrenia with very strategical narcissism that she will play you as the sweetest little lady, like all the people who suffer those conditions do.
Wonderful. Okay, good. So
You're not really listening, are you?
good news. Good news.
I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this in evidence. I warn you from
I've
now.
got some good news. I've
Good.
got some good news.
Yes.
She's seen by a professor of psychiatry.
Sorry, did you say a professor of psychiatry?
Yeah, I did.
So we're talking about.
She was seen by a professor of psychiatry.
So it's a senior consultant.
She came in. Yeah. So she.
What's his name or her name? Because I'll need to obviously check all this.
Can I? Well, you can do.
No, it
what
won't
you
be
like.
secrecy. It will need to be on file.
That's the notes. But yeah. I'm reading the entry now. So she was seen by the psychiatry team, including professor of psychiatry, and she was cleared for discharge. So, from my point of view, that means that she's cleared for discharge psychiatrically. So she had the assessment. People said she needed an assessment. Good news, she got one.
Right. So you're saying this consultant psychiatrist.
By
Right.
a person of appropriate seniority.
Right. Now, my mother's mental health.
And they said that there are no acute psychiatric issues that needed ongoing inpatient.
Right. I don't have any evidence that you've done that.
You don't. That of course you don't have any evidence of anything because you're not looking after her. So that's why I'm.
That's my mother. And if I decide to, whenever I decide to, kick off the documents that's in my hand from 8 years, if I now decide I need to go for the full power of attorney if it's necessary, I need evidence.
You can do what you like. You can do what you like, and you can get what you like. There's a way for you to get all the medical records. So you can.
I'm asking you for the name of the psychiatrist. You can't even do that.
I'm not going to give.
But why is it a secret, my man? Why is it a secret?
No, it's not.
It's very irregular behavior.
No. You can. I'm telling you that.
So why don't you say the name of the psychiatrist?
Well, I'm not going to.
But what is the reason? I'm asking you. What is the reason? It's not normal behavior for a doctor to deny the family. Why are you denying the family?
No.
What? Why can't you say the name of the clinical professional?
Let me tell you.
Yes, go ahead. Tell me.
I can say that they were who they were seen by.
Well, you can't. Clearly, you can't.
Of person. I can say that.
I know you can't because if you could, you would have already said it. You would have said Dr. So-and-so.
When I can tell you the date and the time.
I need to know the name.
Of their most. Well, you don't need to know.
Well, I do.
Find out.
I do. She's my mum.
Okay, that's fine. Then you have that need. I understand that you.
No, it's not I have that need. The law says so. Unless you've got a... Do you have...
Said you need to know.
Look, listen, look. Have you been taken over by a corporate body? Is my mother being taken over by a corporate body?
I'm here for her.
Well, you're not. You're answering to the state for your little wages. You're not really serving the patient, are you? You're serving your bosses. Well, okay. Okay. I'm asking you if a corporate body... I'm asking you if a corporate body has taken over my mother's status. Do you know what a corporate body is? Is there a corporate body that's, again, secretly got involved, as they did last year, who don't want to be named because they know what I'm going to do? Is there a corporate body that's taken over the responsibility of my mother, similar to a power of attorney? Because that is the only reason you would be hiding from family members which doctors, a nearly 90-year-old lady, disabled, elderly, And she's got 3 children and 9 grandchildren. And what do you want me to tell everybody?
We're going to send her home with a full summary of what's happened to her.
Right, but you can't tell me the psychiatrist's name.
Well, I could, but I'm not going to.
Okay. So could you tell me, all right, fair enough, you don't want to say it. All right, I can't force you. So let me ask you this. You don't tell me the name. Why can't you tell me the name?
I don't want to.
No, I know, but why can't you?
I can. I'm able to. I don't want to.
No, I know you're able to say it, and I'm not forcing you to tell me the name. I'm simply asking, why have you chosen to keep it secret?
No. I'll tell you why.
Which part of clinical law is that? Quote me the clinical law that allows you the power.
Let me tell you why.
Yes.
Let me tell you why. Giving you that information is a sidetrack. It doesn't further the conversation. It doesn't further your mother getting what she needs.
Well, clearly.
I'm not going to go down a sidetrack. I'm not going to go down the sidetrack of, I'm telling you she was seen by a professor of psychiatry. That's enough.
Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look at our Turkish psychiatrist when he sees her as well on next Tuesday, what he's going to say.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure it's not going to match.
Well, you don't...
He's already seen her twice, and he's already... Well, it doesn't match what he's saying.
The psychiatrists can speak to each other.
Well, I don't know about what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do.
Exactly. You don't know, but you need to trust them, don't you?
No. I've given...
You can verify,
No.
but you're not Professor Psychiatry.
No. I've assisted my mother to get private psychiatrist, and what he's doing is a matter for him. I trust him. I don't trust your psychiatrist because he doesn't even exist as far as I'm concerned, because you're incapable of giving me a name, because under clinical law, you should tell me under clinical law.
Because I don't want to.
No, but tell me the section that allows you to keep it from me then.
I'm not keeping anything.
Where you need to call to the family, this section, yes, you do by law. You are absolutely failing in that. You are failing at the moment. You know, this isn't negligence what you're doing. This is misconduct.
I need to inform you what's happening. So your mother came in. She had, as you say, people wanted her to have a psychiatric. She had a psychiatric.
Which people?
Psychiatrist.
Sorry, which people? People didn't want her to have one. Who are you talking about? Are you putting aside 3 constables and 2 paramedics as got it wrong? You know, there are video recordings of it all as well, what she was doing.
They, as you said, quite right.
I know what I said.
It was felt that she needed an assessment.
By whom?
She needed an assessment.
But do we agree by whom?
She got an assessment.
So you don't want to say 3 policemen. You don't want to say 3 policemen and 2 paramedics because it doesn't suit your recording. Yes.
No, that's not quite true.
Okay. So what's the reason you're going round these 5 professionals?
You're focusing on.
I'm focusing on the truth. You're focusing on your wages and your reputation.
Focusing on getting your mother.
You're not focusing on your patient, I assure you. You are serving a state at the moment, which at the moment is corrupted by the views of millions of Britons.
Okay.
So you don't want to name the 3, you don't want to say that it's 3 policemen and 2 paramedics. Okay, right? You're evasive about that as well. Go on to the next bit. Go ahead. It was felt by 5 professionals she needed a mental health assessment. You have ignored that.
She had a mental health assessment, yes, that's right. She had the mental health assessment.
Well, can you tell me when she had it? Can you give me a date?
She was seen multiple times by the mental health team. Do you want to know the most recent time she was seen?
Well, you know, you can tell me all of them. It's only 3, I think you said, is it?
I didn't tell you how many times. I said multiple times.
So by now you could have just given me the dates.
Yeah, actually, you know what? She was seen multiple times by the mental health team, and they came to an assessment. So the assessment...
That doesn't tell me anything, but go ahead.
Yeah, indeed it does, exactly. And then we assessed her safeguarding
Which safeguarding?
Regarding a safeguarding was raised regarding whether it's appropriate or safe to send her home, and the safeguarding was addressed by the social services team. So the issues have been addressed.
Sorry, which safeguarding are we talking about? I don't know what you mean if you don't tell me.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, well, safeguarding was raised, safeguarding was addressed.
Are you aware that my mother was explaining to the paramedics and the police, and it's on the body cams? The body cams will now be applied for tomorrow from the police and paramedics. And my mother was explaining that there are people coming at her, threatening her, scaring her from her window, and she's scared. And those people every day are still coming round. The police have been called. There have been recordings of it.
What I would say is...
And social services are trying to tell people... Just one second. Social services are trying to say...
We think things are fine, but you know what? You need to see what she's like when she gets home.
Look,
Because if
I know my mother for 60... Listen, I know my mother
when she gets home,
for nearly 60 years. 60. You haven't been alive for 60 years.
she's like, see what she's
I
like
don't
when she
need
gets
to
home.
know what she's like. I know what she's like.
You kind of do. See
I know
what
my
she's
mother
like
for
when she
60
gets home.
years. You haven't even been alive on this earth for 60 years, okay? Don't try to put thoughts and words into my mouth.
And then when you see
But
her
we've
when
done
she
this
gets-
before,
when she gets
haven't
home,
we?
Then you can
But we've done this before, haven't we?
decide what you want to do. So we're going to send her home today.
So what's the situation with, you mentioned social workers. What's the situation with social workers now?
First of all, did you hear what I said? Did you understand?
Well, I heard social workers telling me yesterday that they've got nothing to do with her.
Did you understand what I just said?
I don't understand it, no. No, I don't understand it, no, at all.
What I said was we're sending her home today, and you can see what she's like when she gets home, and see what you want to do when you see her when she gets home.
Have you changed her medicine,
Nobody,
her prescription?
so that she will be going. I can tell you the medicines she'll be going home on.
I'm asking you if you have changed,
I'm telling
altered.
you the medicines that she's going home on.
I'm asking you if you've changed them at all, or is it the same?
I can tell you the ones that she was going home on.
Don't you know if the medicine has been changed?
I'm telling you the medicine she will actually be taking.
You can't tell me anything. You're a public servant who needs to serve people. And you're a patient. No, but I'm not your patient either.
Exactly.
So when I'm trying to protect my mother,
There's no contrast between us.
no, but your conduct is on file, I assure you.
I owe you courtesy, but nothing more. I owe
Listen,
you courtesy.
I'm not going to comment on what you just said. That's wrong as well by clinical law, but I'm not going to say that anything to you. You need to even read your basic patient's charter for a start. Never mind the rest of the clinic. Look, we don't agree on this because you're obviously serving someone.
You don't have to agree. You don't
Look,
have to agree, sir.
why don't you tell me what your grievance is with me? You may add some more evidence to when I will sue these corrupted bodies.
I don't know you. I don't have any grievance with you.
But you obviously do. You're so hostile to me, and I've never met you before in my life.
4 medications, regular medications, 2 as and when medications, and we're happy with those. We're happy with her blood tests, and the plan is for her to be sent home today.
Has anybody inquired with Dr. Simon Waldman at all regards to his initial prescriptions and referrals to the Islington Social Services? Islington Council? Have you looked at those files? Have you looked at the files that they have regarded this, that my mother has been a victim of Islington Council? This is the files of UCLH, Victoria Chapman, Mel Brown, and Simon Waldman. Since 2020 till 2023, these are the medical investigations of those professionals that they said to me, your mother clearly is a victim of the Islington Council. And this is what you need to do. It's all recorded and on file. You can even find them on the links sent to you that's on Facebook and YouTube. There are no lies here. It's straightforward honesty. We've got no room for corruption or for corrupted workers. All right? They should be jailed. It doesn't matter who they are. If they are corrupted within the medical system, within the social services, within the government, they need to be found, they need to be put for trial, and they need to be imprisoned for putting the public in danger. It's that simple. If you don't like it, then that raises a question, doesn't it? Well, you don't have to, don't take my word for it. You've got all the links. You've got all the links. Listen to me, Dr. King. You don't have to take my word for it. I don't even want you to take my word for it. All the links have been sent to you. There's another 112 links to be sent today, I'm told, by my wife. Then you can listen to all those professionals yourself. You don't have to take my word for it.
Fine. So, as I say, we have done the mental health assessment by the appropriate doctor of appropriate seniority. We've done the social assessment. We've checked her medicines. We've checked her physical health. We're happy that home is safer than hospital, and therefore, on that basis, we're going to discharge her home today.
Right. So it doesn't really matter what the family have to say. You've made your decision already in advance without the family, and that's the end of it for now. Yes?
For now.
Well, it is only for now. You didn't think that legally this is going to be left, do you? I think you are riding on a very high horse that you really need to be careful. We sent you information to help you, so you don't fall. We live in a free country. We do. Exactly.
Do what you like. We do what we think is best.
Exactly.
And we've taken this.
And there are laws in place.
If you disagree, then
I just go by clinical law. I'm not interested in personal opinions and people's wages. I go by the House of Lords laws and clinical law that protects the patients, the public, and everyone. That's all I go by. Your personal opinion doesn't mean anything to me.
I think that's good. I think that's good.
And that's what we're going to practice. I must tell you something else you should maybe write there if you decide to write it, so that the people who are controlling this situation well above your head, so that I can have a record that I did say it. My mother's life when she comes back will be on record 24 hours as of today. It's not going to be like before. And if she does any of the things she did before, and the hospital and the doctors failed to listen to the family, failed to look at medical documents that were sent to you, failed to look at recordings and what she wants and what she does, then clearly it's going to put you on the spot, isn't it? Because you clearly failed. Well, I'm trying to save you from a lot of hassle. All right? I can't comment on that. All I can tell you, I've done my best to try to make sure if there are any good...
That you say that you've done your best, and that's all you can do. I think we're in a similar situation. So we've done what we think is our best for your mother. If you know that is we are humans and we are limited in that we can do our best. That's what we think we've done. We think we've done our best.
You've done it wrong.
But
And we as a family don't accept what you've done.
If you disagree,
We do.
You know, if when you see her or when she's home, things aren't as you expect or as you want, then you must do what you feel.
It's not what I want. It's what is not dangerous to life and limb. It's not about what I want.
As you say, you've done your best. We think we've done our best as well. So in that
I don't agree with you. I don't agree you've done your best.
That's fine. That's fine.
So know it from now and note it from now.
And you are free to disagree. And actually,
Of course I'm free. I don't need anybody to tell me that.
things work best when you are free to disagree. So I'm glad that you're free to disagree with me, but nevertheless, like you say you've done your best, we think we have done your best for him. I said, that's why we've taken the decision to send her home. It's on that basis.
Right, and I'm saying to you, that's fine. I don't agree with you, but I'm saying to you in response, I'm saying as a free thought, and based on my own knowledge of whatever, that your decisions are completely misdiagnosed. I'm not saying that her physical health and her hip is a problem. I think her hip is recovering very well, the replacement hip she had. I think her general health is to be expected physically, but I think her mental health is absolutely in chaos. And for the last 8 years, as was recommended by a consultant psychiatrist, the assessments to be done were not done, and the antipsychotic drugs were not administered. And to today, this is, I believe, or I know the antipsychotic drugs are the only things missing from her appropriate treatment. Because my poor mother is psychotic, there is no question. All she needed was antipsychotic drugs. It won't kill her. She's got a very strong heart still. It's not going to cause her any harm in that department or in a cardiovascular way, right? The antipsychotic drugs will stop her psychosis. It will stop her endangering her own life. It will stop her endangering her grandchildren. It will stop her endangering all family members. Herself, her family, the community is at risk because of her psychosis and schizophrenia, and that could have been resolved with simple antipsychotic drugs that my mother's body chemistry, DNA, genetics, and current medical status would have absorbed reasonably well. But you have failed again to do this prescription. And that is my only grievance, really, with her medical treatment. Right? Her actual medical treatment, if she does not have the antipsychotic drugs, it's a big mistake. And clinically speaking, legally, the treatment should talk about a professor, consultant, psychiatrist who cannot be named. I think this is just waffle duffle. All this is what the state wants you to do for reasons yet to be found out. That I don't agree with either, and I smell it already. And your behavior as a doctor may usually be good. I don't know you. I can't comment. I don't know you. This is the second time I spoke to you on the phone, and the last time it was only for 5 minutes. You could be a very nice person. You could be a very good doctor. I can't even comment. But based on today, I can see you are taking instructions from lead management for business strategy for the state and finance, and you are putting the patient second, which tells me you're not a good person or a good doctor based on this decision alone. I don't need to know about your past history. I've seen what you've done. And I'm sad because I really do expect medical professionals to be as they swore to be. But nowadays it's different, isn't it? It's just a job. Anyway, so that's I'm concerned about the legal clinical aspect of what you've done with the files if a corporate body is messing about with her again. And more importantly for now, I'm concerned about her herself and the people around her, how she will affect them because she does not have these antipsychotic drugs. If indeed you haven't added them and she still doesn't have them, then the problem will continue.
Well, you need to see what things are like.
Well, what will change, Dr. King, after all these decades? What have you done in that hospital last 1 week that would have changed it? My son tells me she's still accusing the nurses of trying to poison her. She's still accusing the patients that they're, I'm not going to say it now on the phone, she's still accusing the doctors of trying to put her in a mental hospital. She's accusing every single one of you. She's accusing my son that the oranges he bought to her 2 days ago and the bananas have actually got poison in it and she doesn't want it. And that her son is actually dead, and I am somebody else that's taken over his identity. This is 2 days ago. This is decades this is going on. And what treatment have you given her to resolve this? I must tell you, when my son comes to the hospital, every second is recorded for his safety to ensure nothing is said, nothing is done that is not true. Because we've suffered a lot of issues and we've been made victims by the state and local authority. So we need to keep a record of everything. And my son, in your hospital there, has a record of his grandmother hundreds of times accusing you as well, I take it, you're a doctor, all the nurses of doing very bad things to her. And I've got those recordings. And including my son, she's accusing my son. Now, I'm sure you haven't tried to poison her. I'm sure the nurses haven't done any such thing. But I know she's been very accusatory for decades. But now she's harming people with it. People are getting arrested. People are getting injured. People are ending up in A&E. And it's all on file.
Good, good. So
do you see the problem?
I'm glad that we've had this opportunity to talk. As I say,
Okay.
we've done what we think is best for your mother, and we'll be sending her home today. Obviously, there will be things that continue because she has, as you say, she's been unwell for decades with her.
Why aren't you treating her for it?
Things will
Why aren't you treating her for psychosis?
We're acting on good faith on the advice given by a senior psychiatrist.
So then we can't have that name at the moment.
That's what's been advised by an expert, so we're following the expert advice we were given.
Okay, so who has advised you to keep it staunch? Wow. Oh, it's like China or, Gestapo's or Nazi Germany or, like Russia in the days, decades ago. The patient and her treatment doesn't matter, but what records they want to have and what attack they want to have on Britons in this country, especially free, self-opinionated, straight, good-behaved people, because I believe the cronies behind this, neither they're not family people, they don't have a good heart, they don't know what is love, they don't know what is about good life, they are part of a small percentage of absolute gargoyle medusas, if I can say that, yeah? In other words, little devils working for the wise Satan. Anyway, see you guys on the next recording, I guess. This is not going to finish here, as we can all see. All right? Now, this recording was made between 9 and 9:30 in the morning, a.m., on the 9th of April 2024. We are at the golden age as of yesterday, and it seems that unsavory characters within the system is still kicking. We'll have to see how we can help them. Maybe some massage, yeah? See you guys on the next occasion. Ciao, ciao.